The 9 most powerful legendary bows in world history. 1. Turkish Bow. Another important historical bow is the Turkish bow. Built based on bow designs from the Eurasian Steppe, the homeland of the Turkish people, the Turkish bow would evolve into a highly impressive war weapon. A variant of the bow was crafted with a wooden core, animal horn belly, the side facing the archer, and sinew backing. These bows had significant curvature when unstrung and are still widely used in competitive archery today. Like other bows developed in the East, the Turkish bow is drawn with the thumb of the archer, unlike the fingers in Europe. This technique was developed to support shooting while on horseback. Turkish archers also developed techniques to increase the speed of shooting in battles, such as holding reserve arrows between the fingers of the draw hand. Modern studies seem to indicate that these bows had relatively low draw weights, around 30 kilograms. However, other studies suggest that these bows could be comparable to longbows. 2. English longbow. One of the most famous bows of all time, the English longbow is renowned for its tremendous power. Measuring approximately 1.8 meters long, this bow had a prominent place in history and became the bane of many of England's enemies for centuries. Made from yew wood, these bows would serve in the English military until the end of the English Civil War, when the wreck of the ship Mary Rose was discovered in the 1980s. Hundreds of longbows from the 16th century were found in remarkably good condition. Estimates of the draw weight of these bows vary, typically around 100 lbs, but when tested, they tend to have draw weights ranging from 100 to 180 pounds, 45 to 82 kilograms. These bows had an effective range of up to 350 yards. The heavy war arrows used were believed to be capable of penetrating all but the best medieval plate armor. 3. Viking bow. The Norse developed a unique bow of their own and put it to use in large-scale battles. Considerable evidence from art, inscriptions, and archaeology leads us to conclude that archery played an important role in the lives of the Vikings. The Viking bow is a self-bow, but a recurve bow like those used by nomadic Eurasians was known to the Vikings. Although the type of bow found in archaeological records is a self-bow made from a single piece of wood, other types of bows are mentioned in literature. It seems that Viking warriors of the Middle Ages were quite familiar with bows. The Vikings, being seafaring people with extensive maritime trade routes and commercial connections with many merchants from continental Europe, likely had easy access to bows from the Asian steppes in the 10th century. 4. Mongol bow. Employed by the Mongols from the 13th century onwards, the recurved composite bow of the Mongols is considered one of the most powerful and deadly bows in history. These bows were famous for their ability to shoot with pinpoint accuracy at heights exceeding 500 yards, over 450 meters, and were often used from horseback. The draw weight of these bows is estimated to be around 75 kilograms. The secret to the effectiveness of the Mongol bow lies in its recurved design. This made the bow compact, easier to carry and use, while still packing a punch. These bows were also crafted with a composite material of wood, animal sinew, and animal horn, allowing them to store a large amount of potential energy without breaking. The arrows were typically made of reed with a diameter of 1 centimeter and varied in length from 80 to 100 centimeters, with various types of pointed and barbed heads. 5. Japanese yumi bow. This is also a type of bow used by the famous samurai warriors of feudal Japan. Yumi, meaning bow in Japanese, is one of the deadliest bows in the world. This term, when used in English, often refers to asymmetric bows, such as the longer daki and the shorter hanki. These weapons were an integral part of the samurai's arsenal and widely used in the wars of the feudal period. Compared to Western-style bows, these asymmetric bows were particularly tall and originally designed for use on horseback, with the grip held lower on the bow arm. Draw weights of the bows vary significantly, with estimates ranging from 110 pounds 50 kg to 176 pounds 80 kg. 6. Korean gungdo bow. Archery, called gungdo or gungsu in Korean, is a premier martial art in Korea. Records of archery culture are described in the mural paintings of the ancient Goguryeo kingdom and documents from the Goryeo and Joseon dynasties. Thus, archery has a rich and long-standing history in the country. Depending on the material used, Korean bows are classified as simple or composite. Those in the former category are made from a single material like wood or bamboo. Composite bows are made by combining multiple materials. The production of the bows depends on the manufacturer and the availability of materials. Other types of bows used in the Joseon dynasty include Changyeong powerful bow, similar to traditional horn bows, and used to shoot heavy arrows. Yesing ceremonial bow, the longest bow among Korean bows, is only used in ceremonies and rituals. Wooden bows are mainly made from mulberry wood. Iron bows resemble traditional bows, and donggahul is a small bow for mounted warriors. 7. Scythian bow. Another highly dangerous bow in history is the Scythian bow, made from wood, horn, sinew, and glue for lamination. These composite bows were among the most sophisticated war weapons of their time. Used by the Scythians, a nomadic warrior group, in southern Siberia between the 9th century and 1st century BC, this bow proved to be a highly impressive device. The draw weight of these bows is a subject of lively debate, but the Scythian bow has been shown to have a draw weight of approximately 100 pounds 55 kg. However, it is important to note that this is based on the bow being drawn to shoot very short arrows. These bows are believed to be designed, similar to the bows of the Mongols, for shooting from horseback. 8. Persian bow. The Persian bow was used for both hunting and warfare. Different types of bows were made from metal, ivory, or composite materials, considered to be the strongest. This involved a combination of animal skin: horse, deer, rhinoceros, wild ox, sinew, and silk. The bow is inscribed to indicate it was made by the craftsman Ostad Majid in Tehran in the year 1188 according to the Persian calendar, or in the year 1809 to 1810 of our era. Similar art pieces currently exist in the Nyane Museum in Noyon, as well as in the Horse Museum in Chantilly. The decorative elements on the Persian bow depict various hunting scenes. Landscapes are represented in the form of vegetal carpets or architectural elements, inspired by decorative motifs found in contemporaneous manuscripts. The orange background highlights the finely drawn figures and animals. The handle on a black background, decorated with golden floral motifs, is characteristic of the Qajar Turkmen dynasty that ruled from 1786 to 1925. The limbs of the bow reuse the motifs of the handle before ending with wooden-colored parts, engraved and also decorated with golden motifs. 9. Egyptian bow. Egypt has a long, fascinating history, and their achievements in writing and architecture continue to inspire wonder to this day. The ancient Egyptian empire can be divided into 3 kingdoms: the Old Kingdom 2686 BCE to 181 BC, the Middle Kingdom 2134 BCE 1690 BC, and the New Kingdom 1549 BCE 1069 BC. The ancient Egyptians extensively used bows throughout their long history. The first bows used by the ancient Egyptians may have been simple bows made from antelope horns or wood. The ancient Egyptians used several types of bows. The 2 most common types were self-bows, made from a single piece of wood, and composite bows made from multiple layers. The composite bow was likely introduced to Egypt from Western Asia around 1700 BCE. It was made from various layers of materials such as wood, horn, and sinew. It outperformed the self-bow type and could hit targets at a range of about 250 meters. The bow had a characteristic double curved shape when strung. The limbs recurve when the bow is strung.